So Nancy Mace is a Republican congresswoman from South Carolina, and she's one of these that back in like 2020 and 2021 was like a normal Republican. She pushed back on like official reports from the Trump administration on January 6th. She called it an insurrection back then. She, by all appearances, was a reasonable person. Over the last couple of years, she has gone completely off the deep end. Her behavior is erratic at best. I remember a few months ago seeing a video of her making her way to Congress, and she like filmed this road trip that she took, and she was in her pajamas, and she was like filming herself in a gas station in her pajamas. She was this past October in Charleston, South Carolina. She was involved in an incident at the airport, which is all on video. The whole thing is on video, where she just lost her fucking mind. And like the police got involved, and the whole thing was an absolute mess. And so she was on CNN with Caitlyn Collins tonight, and the relevant authorities released yesterday or today. They released a police report that resulted from that incident, and Caitlyn Collins was asking her about that, and said, "You were involved in an incident at the Charleston airport back in October. There was an internal police investigation that came out recently. It says that you turned what was described as a minor miscommunication by police into a spectacle and left airport employees shaken and visibly upset. What was your reaction when you read this report? Again, the incident is on video." Nancy Mace said the report was actually falsified, so she's calling the police liars. "I back the blue. I back our police. I back our security. You know, in my district in South Carolina, I've gotten tens of millions of dollars for local law enforcement to support them in their efforts to keep our community safe." I mean, if she's referring to things that were contained in Joe Biden's infrastructure bill, she actually voted against that. But what's not okay is falsifying reports and falsifying incident reports. Caitlyn Collins had a retort. "You just said you back the blue. The police quote you in this report as referring to police as fucking idiots and fucking incompetent, while stating that you are a fucking representative and telling a TSA supervisor, 'I'm sick of your shit. I'm tired of having to wait. I should not have to wait. You guys are always fucking late, and this is fucking ridiculous.'" And then Caitlyn Collins asked, "Are you saying that you did not say those things?" Nancy Mace said, "Well, you're quoting a document that was, in part, falsified. That is a falsified document." Caitlyn Collins, "Are you saying that you never said any of these quotes, that every single one of them is a lie?" She said, "I never called a cop an idiot. That is a remarkably false statement." So I guess she did call him fucking incompetent. "I am absolutely saying that that report was falsified, 100% fictitious, falsified. I have never called someone an idiot. That is shocking to me. Again, it's on video." Caitlyn Collins said, "Do you regret your actions in how you did speak to the airport employees or the police officers that day?" Nancy Mace said, "Well, expressing one's frustration isn't illegal. I use vulgar language frequently. The president does. I do express my frustration. I do take responsibility for my words. I always have. But the idea that I would call somebody an idiot, I have never done that in my life. And to me, it was an incredible hit job. It was effective. It was a very effective political hit job, but that's all that it was. After Collins questioned who was supported behind the hit job, Nancy Mace replied, "It was the Attorney General of South Carolina, Alan Wilson," before complaining, "It's crazy to me that the media would believe a falsified report." Following the interview, here's the punchline. Nancy Mace wrote in a social media post, "I misspoke on CNN tonight. I have called one person an idiot before." The congresswoman then linked to a 2024 post where she described Representative Rashida Tlalib as, quote, "Iran's useful idiot." Kevin McCarthy recently at an event was asked something about Nancy Mace, and he responded he didn't explicitly state it, but he said something along the lines of, "I hope that she can get the help that she so desperately deserves," and made allusions to drug addiction and severe mental health crises. Can't say that I disagree based on what I have observed, and I'm not diagnosing her in any way, shape, or form. She needs a significant amount of time and some grippy socks.